Assalamu alaikum viewers. I'm Rehana Prantingwali from Rehana School, teacher training 23rd batch. Today I am going to share my review Sir Ken Robinson's inspiring TED Talks to school kills creativity. It's a through provoking session that makes us look at education, creativity, and the potential of our children in completely different way. I hope so. You enjoy this review and find it interesting. Let's get started. Sir Ken Robinson's start their review from the okay, if the student what is if the student sitting in your classroom today is not failing at school, but the school is failing to recognize the child? What if the student who struggles with mathematics is actually a brilliant artist? What if the child who cannot sit co- quality in a classroom is an incredible storyteller, designer, musician, entrepreneur, or problem solver? And what if instead of discovering these talents, our education system slowly teach children to hide them? There are some of the powerful questions raised by Sir Ken Robinson in his framed TED Talk. Do skill kill creativity? Originally presented at TED 2006, this talk remains one of the most influential discussion about the education and creativity. Robinson does not simply criticize schools. Instead, he challenges us to rethink what education is supposed to achieve. And after watching this talk, one question stay with you. Are we educating children for the future or educating the creativity out of them? Okay, the first thing that makes this TED talk so powerful, one of the biggest strength of Sir Ken Robinson is his storytelling. He doesn't begin with complicated statistics or academic language. He begins with humor, personal experiences, and simple stories that almost anyone can understand. One of his most memorable example is about a little girl who is drawing during an art lesson. Her teacher asks her what she is drawing. The girl answers that she is drawing a picture of God. The teacher tells her that nobody knows what God looks like, and the little girl confidently responds that they will know in a minute. So it's a funny, but there is something much deeper behind the story. The child is not worried about being wrong. She is not thinking, what will the teacher say? She is simply imagining something and trying to create it. And this exactly what Robinson want to us to notice. Children naturally experiment, they imagine, they talk chances, they ask unusual questions, but as they grow older, many of them become increasingly afraid of making mistakes. And that is where the problem begins. Are we teaching children to fear mistakes? This is probably one of the strongest ideas in the entire talk. Robinson argues that creativity requires a willingness to be wrong. That does not mean every mistake is creative. It means that if a person is terrified of making a mistake, they will probably never talk the risk necessary to produce something genuinely new. Think about it. How many times does a child hear, "That's wrong, don't do that, that not the answer, follow the instructions"? Do is exactly like this. Of course, rules and discipline have their place. But if education become nothing more than finding the one correct answer, children may gradually stop asking interesting questions. And this is where Robinson's argument become uncomfortable because perhaps the problem is not that children lose their creativity naturally. Perhaps we train them out of it. The hierarchy of subjects. Another major point in the talk is the hierarchy that exists in education. In many traditional education system, subjects such as mathematics, science, and language as treated as extremely important. Then come subjects like history and social studies, and often somewhere near the bottom, we find art, music, drama, dance, and other creative disciplines. But why? Why should a child who is naturally talented at music feel that their talent is less valuable than another child talent for mathematics? Why should a brilliant artist be considered less intelligent than someone who is excellent at solving questions? This is one of the this is one of the ideas that makes Robinson's argument so powerful. He is not saying mathematics is unimportant. He is not saying science is unimportant. He is saying that human intelligence is much bigger than traditional academic categories we use to measure it. A child can be intelligent in many different ways, and education should recognize that. One of the most important message: every child has potential. For me, one of the most inspiring part of the talk is Robinson's belief that children have enormous potential. The problem is that we don't always recognize it. Imagine a child who consists, constantly draws in the margin of their notebook. A teacher might say, "Stop wasting time and concentrate on your lesson." But what if the child is developing the skill of an artist? Imagine another child who is always telling stories. Maybe they don't perform well on traditional tests. But what is if they have the potential to become a writer, filmmaker, journalist, or communicator? Another child may consistently take things apart just to understand how they work. Instead of seeing curiosity, we might simply see disobedience. This is why education should not only ask, "What is the child good at?" It should also ask, "What is the child capable of becoming?" This is a much more powerful question. The education system was designed for a different world. Robinson also makes an important historical argument. He explained that modern education systems were heavily influenced by the need of the industrial age. The system was designed around a particular understandings of success. Get educated, get qualifications, get a job, become productive, but the world has changed dramatically. Technology has transformed the workplace. Artificial intelligence is changing industries. Creativity, problem solving is becoming increasing important. And many jobs that exist today were difficult to imagine when traditional education systems were being designed. So the question becomes, if we don't know exactly what the future will look like, we can be prepared children for it. Robinson's answer is simple but profound. We need to develop their ability to adopt. We need to develop imagination. We need to develop creativity. We need to develop curiosity, because we cannot give children a perfect instruction manual for a future that we cannot predict. But we can give them the ability to think. But Robinson's completely right. Now, this is where I think a good review should go beyond simply praising the speaker. I agree with the central message of talk. Creativity absolutely deserve a much bigger place in education. However, we should also be careful not to turn the argument into school are bad or academic subjects don't matter. They do matter. Children need mathematics, they need language, they need science, they need discipline, they need knowledge. Creativity without knowledge can also become limited. The real solution, in my opinion, is not to replace traditional education with creativity, it is to combine them. Imagine a classroom where children learn mathematics through real world problems, science through experiments, history through storytelling, language through writing and filmmaking, art through observation and imagination. The kind of education would not eliminate academic learning, it would make academic learning more meaningful. The most important question for parents and teachers, and this is where the talk becomes personal. It is easy to blame schools, but parents also play a huge role. Sometimes parents unintentionally send the same message: become a doctor, become an engineer, choose a safe career, don't waste your time drawing, art won't give you a future. Of course, parents want security for their children. That comes from love. But sometimes, in trying to protect children from failure, we also protect them from discovering who they really are. Maybe instead of asking children only, what do you want to become? We should ask, what do you love doing? What make you curious? What can you do for hours without getting bored? What problem do you enjoy solving? Those questions can reveal talents that a traditional exam may never discover. Why the talk still matters today? Although Sir Ken Robinson delivered this talk in 2006, its central question feels surprisingly relevant today. In fact, in my ways, it may be even more important now. We are living in a world where artificial intelligence can generate text, images, music videos, and even code. So, what become uniquely valuable about humans? Our ability to imagine, our ability to conduct ideas, our ability to understand emotions, our ability to ask meaningful questions, our ability to create something that did not exist before. In the world, in the words, creativity is not become less important. It may be become more important, and that makes Robinson's message worth revisiting. My final verdict. So, do school kill creativity? I don't think the answer is simply yes or no. Schools can kill creativity when they punish curiosity, glorify only one type of intelligence, make children terrified of mistakes, and treat creative subjects as less important. But school can also do the opposite. A great teacher can completely change a children's life. A supportive classroom can turn curiosity into confidence. A simple art project can reveal a talent. A science experiment can create a future scientist. A story can create a future writer. And one encouraging teacher can make a children believe maybe I am actually good at something. That is the real power of education. Education should not be about producing thousands of identical students who all know the same answers. It should be about helping millions of different children discover what they can contribute to the world. And perhaps the biggest lesson from Sir Ken Robinson talk is this. We should not educate children only for the world that exists today. We should educate them for the world they will create it tomorrow. Because we may not know what that future looks like, but they will live in it. And our responsibility is not to tell them exactly what to become. Our responsibility is to give them to knowledge, confidence, imaginations, and freedom to become something we cannot yet imagine. And that is why do schools kill creativity is more than just a talk about education. It is a reminder that behind every report card, every exam result, and every class desk, there is a human being with a unique imagination. The question is not only whether that children is learning. The question is what are we teaching the children to become? And that, in my opinion, is the question every parent, teacher, and education system should be asked. So, I think you should like this review, and so please uh, like and follow us. Allah Hafiz.